Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and if any of you call me Indian Tobey Maguire again, we gonna have a bad time. Now that being said, welcome back to Daddy's Little Strip Club here on the internet. We're gonna sit back and take a look at something a little bit serious. Now ladies and gentlemen, I think one of the strongest things that I've ever done on this channel is look at the darker side of the internet. You know, something that excites me the most is reading things like 4chan threads or reading the weird satanic conspiracy side of the web. But sometimes we get to a situation where it's absolutely darker than I would have ever expected. Today's video is all about the Omegle cat killer. If you don't know who this person is, well, sit back, relax, we're going down a fucking rabbit hole. Now, it started off with this post here. Hey Muta, I saw this comment on one of your recent videos, and I'm hoping that you see this to shed light on it. I don't know what can be done about this, but it is despicable. There is a woman going on Omegle showing skinned cats and their bloody skulls. People are calling her Crazy Cat Lady. Multiple groups online are trying to track her IP down, but her IP changes very frequently. Yeah, we'll get on that in a bit. The Crazy Cat Lady appears to get on Omegle from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and uses the tag furry. Ooh. I'll be attaching a link to the Reddit post. Doesn't show anything graphical of the person who encountered them before. In the comments of said post, there is a link to another post from. There is a comment to said post. There is a link to another post from the same person that shows an actual image from said Omegle call. I hope this isn't real, but the image says otherwise. Now, this actually led me to a Reddit post called the Crazy Omegle Cat Lady. Now, you can see if you just type in Crazy Omegle Cat Lady on the good old Google, you'll find out that there's just a whole lot of pages related to it. The Crazy Lady on Omegle, Don't Fuck with Cats Reddit. Apparently Shrimp Sticks has there's a user on the internet there. There is a gore video posted on YouTube, and I'm not going to be showing any of the gore, by the way, just to get on with, but you can see that it's a fresh, new topic, and it's something that's happening right now as you're watching this video. Here's like one of the original posts by a username by GamerGirl362. So my friend was on Omegle and she came across a girl who told her under the interest furry, and she said how there was a woman on there who killed burned skinned cats. I will not post a picture because it is very graphic, and I deleted it because I was forever scarred. She wanted to find them before she was going to give up. She found them. Some people experienced the burning, others the skinning. She experienced her holding the skull at first. My friend thought it was fake, but then she saw their thumb in its jaw, and then they poked its eye out. Now, this is an Omegle call with this Crazy Cat Lady, allegedly. And as you can see, probably not, because I'm going to blur this since it's not allowed by YouTube Terms of Services, is an actual cat skull. It's a very small cat skull. I'm not an expert on cat skulls, of course, you know, I don't actually skin them myself, but it has an eyeball placed inside it. Think of like looking at a fish head, you know, at a supermarket, and you can still see its eye placed in. Yeah, it's pretty much what you're seeing here, and the skin is like blood red, meaning that it's literally just been skinned, like it's just been pulled. You know, Daddy's hunted for a while. He knows what skinning an animal is like. Let me tell you, that's probably going to be taken out of context, but for those people who are in the context, you know damn well what I'm talking about. Now, this Reddit post led me to another user from Instagram, one that I'm not going to be naming just because of fear of their privacy. I don't think they really wanted to give their name out. Granted, they posted their name in a public forum, but I don't really want to throw them out there because I believe they actually got some hate from people who thought it was actually them being the cat killer, so I'm not going to do that. But they have some photos where they show the cat skull in particular, and the more you flip back into it, the more you can see, hey, there's a cat skull. Hey, there's like some weird windmill stuff, which I believe is the actual video that the viewer is sending out. And I hope to God they spoofed the webcam footage instead of sending their actual photograph out there. Then you've got a close-up look at the skull with the eyes removed. And yes, that does in fact look like a freaking cat skull, to be real with you. Then you've got an actual TikTok account. Now, this is what we're going to go to next, but this is an element of a TikTok account that was actually removed. These keep getting removed really fast, but I'll show you real quick. The Crazy Cat, Stupid Idiots lol, I am not in Kokoma, Idaho. I will state I am in Texas, but I ain't stating that the rest of you idiots. Hashtag furry, hashtag Omegle. And then here's the original posting. Add the Crazy Cat Lady first with 491 followers and 18 likes. In their bio, they write French taxidermist, I show off a lot in Omegle. Now this was, I believe, the original actual posting of the TikTok account. And at the time that I was initially investigating it, I couldn't find this TikTok account. But later on, about 2 hours before filming this, I actually did in fact find this TikTok account. I don't know if it's the original, but it seems like the actual original user behind this whole nonsense. Now, the first exact account that I could find was actually this one called The Crazy Cat Lady First. And this, I don't know how TikTok exactly works, but you can see that it's strapwort, whatever that means, 4,106 followers and 12 videos, meaning that this has more activity than the original account that we've seen. Again, these keep popping up and down, and people do report them. I reported this account, for instance, but yes, they do end up coming out in for it. And as you can see below, there are other TikTok users who responded, like saying, "This is not my post, please block this account, report it," and whatnot. So good-natured posts, but these accounts are just going to keep popping up anyways. Again, let's go further. Now, this is one of the messages after every single video that this lady shows, and it says, "Good luck to all and happy hunting." And as you can see, it's got 159 likes, meaning that's some pretty healthy engagement, I believe, for TikTok. And this message is, again, on every single video she posts, meaning that she just enjoys this hunt that's going on right now. What I'm making, this video, is feeding into all of her fucking psyche. So yes, that's on every single one of the videos. She enjoys this whole hunt, and she enjoys watching people edge closer and closer to figuring out her identity. Now, here she writes that she is engaged in infiltrating a Discord group from these users, so she clearly hides her name, but she's infiltrated a Discord group that's dedicated to investigating her. And as you can see, she keeps using the hashtag furry and hashtag furryomegle. These are the hashtags she uses to communicate with people on Omegle and show them the dead animals as she pleases. Here you can see like transcripts from the Discord she's into. "Crazy cat lady, what made you do this? I'm trying to have a better understanding of why you're doing this, not trying to spite you." Bullshit, dude. "Can I please DM proof instead?" Or, "Guys, we need to cool off for a few. That's all I wanted to ask." And that's people just trying to discuss what's going on with her. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to a person just torturing and killing cats. You know, serial killers don't operate on rhyme and rhythm, I would say. Like they're just psychotic individuals to get off with. Now, here she gives some reasoning of why she's a crazy cat killer. Like, why do you ask? "Because I'm tired of degenerate brats and people who think they are better than those. I was raped once and abused by my boyfriend. I want to put fear in others, even if I scar brats." So clearly some past trauma has led her to harming cats. And of course, as far as I've honestly known, people who harm cats eventually graduate to like some human beings later on. I'm not going to say that's the case over here, but it is definitely escalating. Here's another post that she says where, "I'll be having a friend pick up 2 kittens tomorrow, so sure." And of course, this means it's going to escalate day by day. Now here she gives timestamps of signing on to Omegles, like going on Omegle at 1:23 p.m. Time is 12:33 p.m. She actually has a schedule that I'm going to show you real quick. Right here. "Hello, here times I am normally on Omegle and when I'm not on Omegle. Monday, not on at all. Tuesday, not on at all. Wednesday, anywhere from 12 p.m. to 5. Thursday, 10 p.m. to 4. Friday, same as Wednesday, to 7 p.m. Saturday, not on. Sunday, only on for about 2 hours from 4 p.m. I will normally announce when I'm on TikTok. If you see anyone else being me, it's not me." So this is apparently the legit account. She will let you know when she's about to diddle some cats, or torture them, or whatever you want to call it. So clearly the situation is escalating. She's got a pattern of behavior, and it's at this point where now we're only wondering when it's going to go up, because she's buying more cats, she's killing more cats, she's putting more and more into it. Clearly the situation, again, is escalating. Now that we've established what the situation is, why this lady is doing it, what her times are, now it's time to like sort of delve into it for ourselves and see what we've got. Now I've spent about the last 2-3 days sort of trolling around on Omegle, sort of trying to find this cat lady, and unfortunately I have not found the cat lady. And I'll give you a sort of a dramatic recreation of what I was doing. Basically, you go over here to Omegle and you type in furry or Omegle furry Omegle. There you go. That's what you want to type in. And then you make sure you go to the video section. Now this is an unmoderated section as far as I know, but I'm going to click onto it and see what we've got real quick, trying to find this lady. Dicks. More dicks. Oh fuck, penis galore. Now, I believe Omegle at its peak, usually per day, has like 40 to 50,000 people. That, or maybe the counter might have been busted, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with the estimate that 40 to 50,000 people exist. I'm going to say that a good chunk of them probably don't use furry or furry Omegle. It might be a little tame, I would say, but there are people that are actively hunting for this individual, and even during their time frames, I have not been able to find this person for like 3 days. However, I have found a litany of other individuals who like to use the furry section. I found a lot of dongs, and that being said, it's Omegala's business. One of the known profile... Now, one of the actual posts of the crazy cat lady is, in fact, this. This is the closest image we have to her on Omegle.com. So if you see this individual available at all on Omegle, this may actually be the closest person to the cat killer you see. And it's where the hands are probably the closest. The actual facial structure might be the closest I've seen when I compare this to the actual cat skull photos. So I'm going to go on a limb and say this is probably the closest you'll get. Again, the problem is most of this face is obscured. Internet detectives are amazing. They've done pretty much all they can to find the actual address of this individual. Now, I don't condone doxing, but when you're committing an illegal crime like this, like actually harming and killing cats, it's a criminal offense, and if you can find out where this person lives, then it's advisable that you contact the regional area, the actual police unit in that area, the police force, and actually get in touch with them so you can actually have a formal investigation against this person. But with that said, what people have been doing is effectively creating landing pages for this person to connect to in order to search for themselves online or just fall into a trap where their IP gets logged. Now, earlier in this, we talked about the IP address just changing all of a sudden. And the truth of the matter is, when your IP address changes all of a sudden, it's really not that shocking. Honestly, unplug your modem and replug it, your IP address is dynamic anyways. Meaning that if you get an IP ban, it's a simple matter of mostly unplugging your main modem, replugging it in, and once you actually get your new IP address from your internet service provider, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Honestly, beyond that, this lady is obviously using VPNs. People have found out that she is either located in Texas or Virginia or the East Coast, numerous places in the United States, and I can't exactly attest to where she's located because her IP address keeps changing locations, which is a sign that she's using a virtual private network. And once you're using a VPN, it becomes very difficult to trace this individual based on their IP, because again, they could be reconnecting to any point. Just by using any VPN and connecting to the United States, you may connect to a server in Buffalo, New York, or you may connect to a server in, Los Angeles, California, or Dallas, Texas, or Seattle, Washington. See, that's how VPNs work. If you pick a country, you'll usually be paired with the closest geographical location to you, but most VPNs allow you to actually select a server specifically. Now, I don't believe this lady may be the most proficient technical individual out there, but using a VPN isn't exactly the hardest thing to do. There are a lot of Reddit detectives that I think I can side with where they're actually fingerprinting her browser. If you don't know what browser fingerprinting is, it's some really wild shit that actually happens a lot more than you think. If you connect to a page, it'll actually be able to track what operating system you're using, what web browser you're using, the amount of cores on your computer, sometimes the actual exact PC specifications that you have. Now, there are ways to mitigate browser fingerprinting, and you can use browsers like Brave or certain Chrome editions or Firefox editions to help mask your browser identity. Now, the way that I do it is I use virtual machines. Again, I don't want to throw that onto you, but I use virtual machines where I basically create a very boilerplate system that most people have. Things like a 4-core computer, 6-core computer with 6 gigabytes of RAM and whatnot. Something that somebody would buy at a Best Buy or a store and bring it home, and that would be the computer specifications. I pretty much replicate that, so if I connect to any shady websites, I pretty much fit the bill with the average computer user anyways. If I just connected with my desktop, I'd stand out with being one of the owners of say an i9-9900K RTX 2080. That would fingerprint me pretty specifically. The amount of people using those enthusiast-grade parts are going to be limited in comparison to people using an actual off-the-shelf OEM computer. And if you can replicate your system to look like that, it masks you a little bit better. And that's where I think this crazy cat killer lady is actually not that technically proficient. Meaning that instead of the IP, if you can take her to multiple websites and fingerprint her actual system, you may be able to figure out a pattern of her computer usage and her location history and work off of that rather than just using her IP address. She obviously has to have a pretty specific system. If you can hit 10 landing sites for her and just correlate which computer shows up on every 10 site, then you can figure out roughly more about this individual than, say, just running off of their IP address. Now, beyond that, figuring out her actual ISP might be the closest thing to getting to her. If she's committing a crime over an internet service provider, then it's up to the internet service provider to have a deeper look at what this individual is doing. And again, provided she hasn't signed on to a VPN, provided she made a mistake and used her actual IP address, that may be the smoking gun to help find this lady right now. Clearly, this is an evolving situation. This is the Omegle crazy cat killer lady who is running a weekly live stream of her skinning cats, this French taxidermist that lives in the States or wherever it may be. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can find out who this person is and bring some swift fucking justice. Because situations like this evolve into something really, really grave if you let it persist the way that it's doing right now. Clearly she wants attention. And you might say, Muda, you're giving her attention. But let me remind you that not all attention is good attention. And if she continues doing this, trust me, internet Reddit detectives are a lot stronger than you think. And using the method of establishment that I'm basically pitching right now, where we actually fingerprint her even harder than just going off an IP address that she's obviously going to go keep changing with some bargain bin VPN that stores no logs. This may be one of the matters to do it, and trying to figure out who her internet service provider is maybe the closest thing to achieving proper justice. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the crazy cat lady on Omegle. Beware, be careful, and ladies and gentlemen, well, watch out, because this is an evolving situation and it's only going to get grim from here. This is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am